Welcome to our CAL FIRE Office of the State Fire Marshal's Community Wildfire Preparedness and Mitigation webinar. My name is Kara Garrett and I am the moderator of this series. Today's webinar will last about 30 minutes and it will be recorded. If you have any questions, please type those into the Q&A portion of your screen in Zoom and we will answer them as quickly as possible. After our featured speaker has completed their presentation, we will be holding a question and answer session. If you have any questions after the webinar has concluded, we will be providing contact information to allow you to reach out directly. And all webinar documentation from today, including the PDF of the PowerPoint recording of this webinar and all other related documentation discussed during this presentation will be available at our website. And I did drop all of the information into the chat box of your screen. And should you encounter any issues, please do not hesitate to give me a call at 916-201-5539 or my email that is listed. And today we will be discussing the California Fire Safe Council with our featured guest speaker, JC Hyde. But to first kick things off, I will kick it over to Acting State Fire Marshal Chief Daniel Brulant, and let's make sure that he was able to get on. I know he had some technical difficulties.
All right, let's see.
Okay, we can
there we go.
See you. Perfect.
Yeah, sorry about that, everyone. Good morning, and thank you for joining us for this morning's webinar. The Fire Safe Council has been a huge partner of ours, and so we are really excited for them to present about the programs they have going, but really to talk about the partnership that we have between the two departments. Of course, I just ran to my office to join here on time, so I apologize for being out of breath, but I'm going to turn it over. I'm excited to hear from JC on all the cool things the Fire Safe Council has going.
All right, thank you, Daniel. Let me get my screen share set up here. All right, hopefully that is working. Kara, can you see my screen?
Yep, and loud and clear, you're perfect.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for having me. My name is JC Hyde. I'm the new executive director here at the California Fire Safe Council. I joined CFSC in March. Some of you may know me from my previous role leading mitigation teams at Cal OES. But I'm really excited to be here and join CFSC to support all of your local wildfire resiliency work. I want to thank our partners at CAL FIRE for the invite to speak today. I'm here to provide an overview of our programs and services that we offer here at CFSC and to highlight a few key ways that you can connect with the network of local fire safe councils and county coordinators that we support. I'm going to start by talking about who we are as an organization. CFSC was formed back in 1993 as a project of CAL FIRE to quickly move federal and state dollars directly into the hands of community-based organizations for wildfire prevention and mitigation efforts. We were incorporated as an independent 501c3 back in 2002 and really started as a grant clearinghouse, but since then have developed a robust programs and outreach department to enhance programmatic and technical support for all of our grantees and other community practitioners across the state. Our primary goal is to support shuttling resources rapidly to local wildfire resilience efforts. So technical assistance, funding, education, and other support for community organizations. Those community-driven organizations are really the stars of the show. They do the boots on the ground work to build resilience. And there are nearly 300 local fire safe councils now active around the state. They range in their jurisdiction or geographic spread from the county level all the way down to the neighborhood level. And these groups provide infrastructure and expertise for locally led planning, mitigation, and education work. In our 20 years of service here at CFSC, we've administered over $125 million to support over 1,200 projects in nearly 400 communities across the state. And our goal is really to listen to our communities and then correspondingly provide the support and partnership that they have for their unique needs to be able to do this work. Between our grants and programs, CFSC has supported almost 3,500 prevention plans, 3,300 educational products, hosted 2,500 workshops, and implemented over 10,000 educational programs. We're really proud to partner with federal and state agencies to do this type of work, including the Forest Service, BLM, our partners here at CAL FIRE, of course, Cal OES, the Department of Conservation, as well as several private companies. And we're in partnership with those groups. We deliver programs that span from fuels reduction, home hardening and defensible space, planning and preparedness, community outreach, trailers and toolkits, capacity building, and our county coordinators program, which I will get into in more detail in a minute. And again, our goal is to empower the local experts to be able to deliver locally tailored solutions that are going to work the best in their communities. Our programs provide capacity building support to establish local infrastructure that will allow for project and grant management, and also the delivery of educational materials that support resiliency goals at the local level. Fire Safe Councils have been around for over 30 years now, and the Fire Safe Council was formed through a grassroots community-driven movement to create wildfire-ready and resilient communities. It's really the neighborhood watch of fire safety, though in many cases those groups have grown far beyond small neighborhood organization into large organizations with substantial infrastructure and capacity. The model recognizes that community-based organizations are best suited to identify and understand their community's unique needs, challenges, strengths, and to create solutions that are locally tailored, and also to inform, empower, and mobilize their neighbors and fellow community members into action. Fire Safe Councils can adapt, and they can be whatever their local community needs in order to make those solutions work most effectively. And Fire Safe Councils are embedded in their communities. They know how to best mobilize their neighbors to take action to adapt their homes, neighborhoods, and landscapes to wildfire. Those local Fire Safe Councils also provide infrastructure and capacity to manage projects, administer grants, develop mitigation and preparedness programs, and provide training and education to their neighbors. And this is really talking neighbor to neighbor, which in my experience has always been the most effective way to bring whole communities together towards a common goal. And this community-driven model, in coordination with local wildfire mitigation practitioners, has shown great success and impact in community organizing, outreach and education, planning, preparedness, and mitigation efforts like fuels reduction, defensible space, and home hardening. And it really amplifies wildfire resilience from the individual to the community scale. So step one in wildfire prevention and mitigation work is engaging the community. We've learned from our fire safe councils across the state that going beyond what's at stake, things might burn down, and really speaking to the community values is the most effective way to mobilize individuals and communities. And those values are diverse depending on the community. So they can range from protecting livelihoods, protecting property, including homes, structures, and keepsakes, supporting health and well-being. We know that the impact of wildfires on individual health and well-being and loss of life, it can be really drastic. Protecting animals, both domestic animals like pets and livestock, but also wildlife. Protecting landscapes, including that intrinsic value of the local ecosystems, access to outdoor space, important landmarks and gathering spaces, and adapting to climate change. Catastrophic wildfires are both driven by and contribute to the climate crisis, which is a really dangerous positive feedback loop. And there are many more values that might be important to a community. And all of these items really speak to what communities value most. And we recognize that what's valued and prioritized in one community may not be the same as what's valued in another. So the strength in the Fire Safe Council model is that those who are locally led community organizations understand their community best and are able to apply that knowledge to bring their community together alongside wildfire mitigation practitioners and local governments for a coordinated effort. There are about 300 fire safe councils active across the state. We try and capture as many as we can on our dashboard. You can use this tool on our website to find the fire safe councils in your area. There's a search function that you can use to search. And once you find it, you're able to click on that, the icon for that fire safe council, and learn more about it and get connected. So I encourage you all to reach out to your fire safe councils if you haven't already. If you don't have a fire safe council in your area, you can start one. First step we always recommend is reaching out to your team and letting us know that you want to do this so we can support you, share resources, help you engage with local and regional efforts already in place in your area, and add you to our map. There's a basic process for how to start a fire safe council. You need board members, a mission statement and objectives, first year goals and a timeline. We ask that you map your service area, create a logo, and then really get to work. Start holding those meetings with your neighborhoods and demonstrate that commitment and collaboration with your partner agencies. We are always here to support your development of new fire safe councils, so please reach out. The first place to reach out is to our regional coordinators. They are the first point of contact, and they are here to support fire safe councils and other wildfire mitigation practitioners across the state through programmatic support and capacity building, training, webinars, networking opportunities. These three host monthly calls for all three regions and also quarterly statewide calls that bring together wildfire mitigation practitioners for peer learning, networking, and sharing of best practices. Between the three regional coordinators, they serve the entire state, full gambit of wildfire resiliency needs. So they really walk alongside our fire safe councils, agencies and mitigation practitioners and county coordinators to navigate the specific needs for each community and really help support that model. Amongst the three of them, they've got decades of experience in all things wildfire mitigation, forestry, natural resource law, firefighting. So they're your first point of contact. Their information is here on the screen. And they really focus on building local fire safe council capacity. So making connections and developing regional networks and integrating fire safe councils into county-wide coordination efforts. We've also seen that the impact of local community-based efforts happening across the state is substantial, but that the biggest barrier to doing that type of work is capacity at the local level. So in response, we coordinated with our partners at CAL FIRE to put together the County Coordinators Program. And this program has provided so far funding for 52 counties to hire a county coordinator. And that person is tasked with building collaborative wildfire practitioner networks in their counties, analyzing gaps in county-led wildfire resilience, providing local capacity to develop mechanisms that'll improve outreach, education, and coordination across their counties. We really envision these coordinators serving as the hub for the wildfire resilience network at the county level. They can connect partners to coordinate planning, project prioritization and implementation, and educational efforts. And in addition to all of that, since 2021, the county coordinators have collectively brought in over $50 million in state and federal funds to their communities, which is a tremendous amount of money in a short period of time. And since local capacity building is often cited as the single greatest barrier to this type of work, the County Coordinator Program has been a relatively low cost but effective way to start plugging that gap. If you aren't already in touch with your county coordinator, we strongly encourage you to reach out. You can find more about the program on our website. There's a search function here where you can browse the map and find your county coordinator for your region. It'll also have their contact information so you can get in touch. And we really encourage you to reach out and introduce yourself so they can you can tap into the resources and network that they offer. While I have you all here, we do have an open grant application cycle now for a couple more days, so I wanted to plug that, make sure everybody's aware. We are offering a Defensible Space Assistance Grant in partnership with our CAL FIRE partners. This is going to be funding for countywide defensible space treatments for vulnerable populations. So the goal is for organizations to develop innovative projects that are going to increase the number of properties in compliance with defensible space standards and really work to reduce barriers to participation for vulnerable populations. You can apply on our website here. A few more details. Total funding available is $4 million. We anticipate 8 awards of $500,000 each. The award period starts in September and goes through the end of December 2024. We are anticipating awarding projects statewide, only one organization per county, and you don't have to have matching funds to participate. And a few key dates, the application period is closing here very soon, June 15th. So you only got a couple more days, but please reach out to us if you are interested in applying and need support. A few more resources before I end. In addition to our funding and programmatic support, we have a lot of resources available on our website, including a virtual learning center. Those are free resources and toolkits that are going to support your wildfire mitigation efforts. We've got an events calendar that includes events and activities from CFSC, from our county coordinators, our fire safe councils, and other partners. We can list your activities here as well if you share them with us. We do a quarterly newsletter called the Mitigation Messenger that covers various topics in wildfire resiliency. Regular email blasts that, if you subscribe to our listserv, with news, updates on the California Fire Safe Council, our grant funding, program activities, trainings, and other opportunities, and also success stories. These are a good place to browse best practices for various projects and programs. Also encourage you to reach out to us on social media, follow us to stay in touch. We're on various social platforms, and we also post a lot of our grant offerings, events, and technical support opportunities there. So I will stop there, and I can take any questions that you might have.
I do see a question in the Q&A box.
Let's see, the grant be used for the training of defensible space and home hardening assessors. So the grant does not cover home hardening at this point, but part of the funding can likely be used for training of defensible space assessors, yes.
Thank you. And if anyone has any other questions, go ahead and raise your hand and we will unmute you. There's another one in the Q&A box.
Is there any hope for grants to help with home hardening in the future? There's definitely hope. We hope so in the near future.
Okay, and we have some time. So if you have any questions, please feel free to raise your hand or type them into the Q&A box. Oh.
All right. Well, we will keep you all posted on any additional funding opportunities that may arise, including potential home hardening grants, if you subscribe to our listserv and follow us on socials. So thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate the invite from our partners here at CAL FIRE.
Justine, I might jump in and help answer that last question. With JC's previous position, her team and our team have actually been developing a grant program, a financial assistance program to be more specific, for vulnerable populations related to home hardening. And so we actually have several pilots that are occurring in Lake County, San Diego County, Shasta County, have expanded to Tuolumne County, El Dorado County, and likely doing a defensible space assistance only program up in Siskiyou County. But we are working to really build out the framework of that program. Hopefully start to see some homes be hardened and retrofitted this summer. And so how we expand that up and what the role the California Fire Safe Council plays is something that we'll be working on. But one of the things that I just wanted to mention this morning is how exciting it has been at the CAL FIRE Fire Safe Council partnership to really extend and augment the fire preparedness and mitigation work that we as a state are working to accomplish. And so, JC, to you and your team, and then all of your respective local fire safe councils, I really think that we have built upon some great programs, especially that county coordinator one, and we are working to try to find stable funding for those programs to make them ongoing. But I'm curious, on your map, you had showed that there are still a few counties that county coordinators are in the works. Maybe you can provide all of us a quick update on where you are with that. And if you're waiting for us for money, you can say that as well.
Happy to do so. We are not waiting for money at this point. We have our gracious partners here at CAL FIRE have provided additional funding to keep us running through 2025. And we're currently working on a plan to extend to additional counties. And that'll be forthcoming this summer to really fill the remaining gaps. But there is enough funding to cover everyone now. So that's very exciting. Dan, before there's another question in the chat, but before I do that, Daniel, anything else you want to say there?
No, I just know that the county coordinators for us has been a critical component of our ability to get the state strategy out to really provide not just equity amongst all of our counties who maybe don't have the staffing and the support to be eligible for local grants. And so it's been a very successful program. I loved hearing the $50 million that those county coordinators have already helped bring back to their local communities. And for us at CAL FIRE, we are soon to turn around and award over $100 million in grants. We have another $100+ million for next year. And so our vision was always that these county coordinators could support local fire safe councils and local community groups with having access to these dollars. And while we try to make it as easy as possible, I just am very excited to continue to see the success that the Fire Safe Council has created in this county coordinator program. So that's all I had, but let's jump into those questions.
So there's a comment here from one of our regional coordinators about home hardening funding. There is some funding for 9 counties for home hardening through the Housing and Community Development Agency. They've released that recently. So I encourage you all to reach out to HCD and figure out if you're one of those 9 counties. And somebody asked if we can explain what home hardening is. And absolutely, home hardening is the effort to adapt our homes to be more resilient to direct flame and embers during a wildfire. So there are various actions that you can take on any individual structure that will help it be more likely to survive a wildfire. And those things are very tailored to each individual structure. But some of the items that you might come across are, of course, starting with your defensible space, but also then making sure that your roof is made of non-combustible material, that you don't have opportunities for embers to catch fire on leaves and gutters, so covering the gutters, filling cracks in the siding, or installing non-combustible siding, various other activities that you can take to really support the resilience of your home. Another question. It seems like a huge task for coordinators to try and coordinate countywide mitigation efforts. What training? So we have a variety of trainings that we offer across the board. This ranges in everything from really technical training, like what is home hardening, and all the way up to future series that are just going to include more like how to engage diverse communities. It's certainly a challenging role. And the way that we have rolled out this program is that each community, each county is able to decide where this person should sit and to hire their own coordinator. So the counties are also providing, the counties or the host organizations are also providing training to those people. Some counties have placed them within their county emergency management office. Some have placed them at county fire safe councils or RCDs. And that really allows them to be adaptable to whatever needs that local community has. And we're really working to build that capacity and to help provide resources and support for them to start building those networks. The grant deliverables start out with things like mapping your fire safe, all of your fire safe activities that are going on in the county. So all of the organizations that are doing this work and starting to make those connections. And ultimately, we envision that role really expanding as those county coordinators are trained. Some of them come to us incredibly well-trained, well-resourced, and some need more support. So we are working through that to make sure that all of our county coordinators have the support that they need to be effective.
Thank you. And it looks like we have one more question in the Q&A.
If we have more questions on the grant, can we contact? Yes, absolutely. Feel free to reach out to CFSC. The contacts, our regional coordinators are good contacts, and you can also just email us directly to the email listed on the website, and we can connect you to the grant specialists as well.
Perfect. Thank you. And I will put the link again for the California Fire Safe Council in the chat. Perfect. Thank you so much, JC, for today. This was absolutely amazing. And we will have the recording of this whole presentation posted on YouTube right after this. And I will go ahead and move on to advertising our next webinar, which is very exciting. So we will be meeting again on June 26th for a special presentation from our Fire Engineering and Investigations Division within the Office of the State Fire Marshal on fireworks safety. So very timely for that day. Please join us on that day, and we will be doing 11:30 a.m. as the start time. So keep an eye on our social media accounts for the links and the flyers as well. But I hope everyone has a good rest of your day. Thank you for joining us.